What's up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy, Devin Slaughter, aka Baby D, aka God Soldier, aka Soldier for Jesus. Just came on with a little video. This one's for everybody, not just adults. So many people suffer with stress to the point they get no rest, who feel like they can't tell certain friends or family. So we should never judge until we know their story. So if you feel like this is you, know that you're not alone no matter what you're going through. I know stress can cause depression and pain, but it doesn't have to define your name. It doesn't have to define what you become, because stress can affect anyone. It's all up to you how you respond when it hits. But remember, you are not alone in this. Something that I find that helps me is doing some meditating and giving it up to God and keeping the faith. You don't have to be alone to carry the weight. The burdens of stress is real, it's true. And this is a truth I speak to you. Some days you get frustrated and that's okay. But don't get to that point where it takes you away. Those thoughts will play on your mind. And truth is, that's never fun. So if you feel up to it, know that there is people who will help you through this. You're probably wondering why I keep saying this every time, trying to drill it in your head to help you understand. That's the pureness and kind heart that dwells in this man, in this land, sorry. Not only this land, but around the world, whether the help comes from a boy or girl, whether they are adults or teens or kids too. We all have a story that wants to come through. That's just a little poem that I wrote about stress. You know, I've been writing many more, in my book, just writing down my poems, my thoughts, Came on, see how everybody's doing. I know it's been a while since you saw me, but you know how I do. I know the world's going through a little something right now with this Charlie Kirk thing, and I understand that it's a rough time for some people right now. But come on, people, we need to become one, man. Stop all this racism, you know what I mean? Stop all this black against whites, whites against blacks, you know, whites and blacks against, the Indians and stuff, the Mexicans and the Latinos. You know what I mean? Stop it. And here's another one that I wrote. Had a mother and stepfather approach me about their son, who has a disability with autism, who was wondering if they could talk to me because they see the pureness of my energy. Even the son had agreed to wanting to hang out with me. Some may say it's not easy to deal with kids of that kind, but it's about having patience, and I don't mind. This is not a young kid or one in their teens. This is one who is in their early 20s. He chose me over someone else because he knew I love to help. Whether it's kids, teens, or adults too. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know how I do. If I am such a bad person, then answer this question: why would a mother and stepfather approach this guy? Because they know I am a cool person with a pure heart. And no, I am not saying this to be rude or smart. Not putting this out to be in my pride or ego, because I came out of that years ago. Written by Devin Slaughter, aka Baby D, aka God Soldier, aka Soldier for Jesus. You know how I do it. You know, every time you think I'm down, I come back. Like the phoenix from the ashes, once again. Here's another one called Praise. I haven't finished it yet, but I started it. Dear God, I come before you to give praise for bringing me out of my dark phase, for the smile that has been brought back to my face, because you've been every day in my special place, watching me and guiding my steps. Can't wait to see what happens next, to see where this path leads with my truth and authenticity. That's all I had for that one. I wasn't finished it yet, but you know, just stuff that just coming on, putting these out. Another one, not finished it yet, but I started. It's almost done. To the people around the world, to the adult kids and teens that are boys and girls, open your eyes and look around, and you see what's going down. If you look close, you will notice the most. I have opened my eyes to what's going down, and that's why I was able to see what came around. All this you see about the world. Let me go back over that. All this you see about the wildfires I set about without fear, and you thought they wouldn't be here. You all wonder how it was I came to see. Well, it's because God showed me. Now people see the truth, that I was not lying to you. Not finished yet, but that's what I got. Another one. Bright lights, camera taking pictures too. And got people. See, this is why I don't read fast or talk fast, because I always slip up on my words. But don't take that the wrong way, because this is just why I don't talk fast. That's why people would call me slow, because of how slow I talk, and this is the reason why. Bright lights, cameras taking pictures too, and see, got people wondering what I do. I sit in public in plain sight, just minding my business and starting to write. Tupac said it best when he said, "All eyes on me," looking at the international man of mystery, who one day showed up out of nowhere on your screen, delivering God's light, if you know what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, teens and kids too, I am only here to motivate and inspire you. If you see me, don't be afraid, because like an angel, God sent me your way. God got me is a slogan I live by, because he sees the pure heart in the sky. Spreading joy, love, and peace is why he has brought me into the life of all of you, to help those who are dealing with what I went through. So why would I allow jealous haters to stop me? when all I'm trying to do is bring light to darkness. See, this is what I've been doing, you know, just minding my business, staying in my lane, with everything that I went through, just keeping to myself. Yeah, I go out to my certain spots and just chill out and talk to people. But other than that, I'm just writing. I've been working with a client too. I've been working with another client too, and you know, that's been going through a lot too. So, you know, like I told, like I told this person, I'm not here to break nobody up. You know, if you feel you're in a narcissistic relationship, it's up to you to have the strength to want to get out. You know, I'm not here to like break anybody up, even though you know yourself you shouldn't be in that relationship. A lot of people might think that this is me going on about my kid's mother or whatever, but it's not. This has got to do with another person that I've been helping along the way, just trying to help them out, keep them sane, keep them from going crazy, keep them in their right state of mind, being there for someone to talk to, someone to listen to, give some advice to. I told this person if they don't want to take the advice, I'm here to listen anyway, you know. But like I said, most people can't handle my truth, and that's okay. So I'm not here to judge anybody, you know. I speak the truth and authenticity. So if you can't handle it, it's all right. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to get mad at you for not taking the advice. The, it's up to you on what you want to do. I can only do so much. I'm not going to say I'm good, because there's only one, you know, but you can't expect someone to help you if you're not going to put in the work to help yourself. You know what I mean? That's like when we pray to God, you know, He's willing to be there and help us, but we have to put that work in too. We have to do our part. We can't just rely on Him to do everything for us, even though it says to lay all of our burdens at His feet and He will give us rest. But understand, we have to do our part too, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I just came on to put these out, like the phoenix from the ashes. I'm back again, you know, nothing's gonna hold me down no matter what. I may not come on all the time, but, I go for my daily walks and stuff and just chill out, doing my thing with my writing and stuff. So, yeah, if y'all like this video, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm just here to motivate you and inspire you and show you that no matter what the negative people say in your life, you know, don't let it define who you are. or what you can do or what you're about, you know, you got this. All right, I'm off for now. I'm getting ready to head out now for my daily walk. So, yeah, I'll be back with another one. You know, like I always say, keep your heads up, stay strong, keep the faith, keep the peace, and I'll be back with another one. And dear God, it's, you know who I am. I'm your soldier, Devin Slaughter. I ask for a prayer of protection over my kids at this time. I ask for a prayer of protection over those that are going through what I went through. I ask you to put your hand down on them and just touch their hearts, God. you know, Show them the love that you have shown to me and help them to persevere through the things that they're going through, you know, keep them strong, help them to keep their heads up through this time. You know, I know things is looking bad in the world today with all this racism and stuff, and like I said, all this racism needs to stop, man. Turning the people against each other. Like, no wonder the world is so screwed up now the way it is. People hating on people for no reason. People judging people because of the color of the skin, the type of work they do, you know, which reminds me of another poem that I wrote about that. Someone getting judged because of the job that they did, a friend of mine. But that's a whole nother poem. I may put that out either later or tomorrow. I'm not quite sure yet, but I will put it out. I wrote it down in one of my books, so I have to go through my books to see which book it's in, but I will put it out because it's not to like, it's not me belittling this person that's trying to judge my friend, because of the job that they have compared to the job that this person has. But it's just me calling people out of the darkness for what they're doing, you know, shedding my light on the darkness that's going on in this world today that shouldn't be going on, judging somebody, just because you work in concrete. What gives you the right to judge somebody just because they're a dishwasher? You know what I mean? My friend is a dishwasher for a hotel, and you got this other person that comes in to a spot where me and my friend hangs out and just chills and talks to everybody that, you know, we know there and whatever. And then this guy comes in trying to belittle my friend in front of people. Like, who does that? You know, if you got something to say about somebody, take that person off to the side and you and that person discuss it. Don't be trying to belittle somebody in public to make yourself look bigger, because really all you're doing is making yourself look like the fool in front of the people that you're trying to show off for. But anyway, I already put a poem out about that with somebody trying to belittle me in public, but you know how they was trying to call me these names, and when we got outside his voice was getting louder so everybody around could hear it. And when I asked him to meet me one on one so we could talk about it, and he tried to get me to go back into the public place to talk about it. I don't play that game, you know. That's just making you look like the fool to try to embarrass me in front of the same people again, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's said and done. This one here that I wrote about ain't got nothing to do with me and that other person. It's got to do with a friend of mine and someone else. But anyway, I'll put that out. You know, like I say, I'm just speaking my truth and authenticity. But, you know, and the racism got to stop, man. It don't matter if it's white against blacks, you know, white against whites, blacks against blacks. You know, that's the worst part is blacks against blacks because everything that we went through in the old days with the slavery and stuff, why are we sitting there putting each other down? You know what I mean? Trying to belittle our own in front of people to make themselves look bigger. You know what I mean? That's wrong. You know what I mean? And that shouldn't even be an issue. This world needs to come together, you know. This land needs to come together. And all these government people that want to cause wars and stuff, stop it. You know what I mean? What he is trying to prove with these wars, like seriously, nobody is better than anybody. You know, God's more powerful than all of y'all. So, like I said before, when I came up with like these dreams I've had about them talking about nuclear wars and all this stuff. And then now this is what we're hearing about like nuclear wars and all these wars and stuff like that, these wildfires and stuff that I done talked about. And now you see it's all coming together. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video at that. I'm not here to, you know, be in my pride or ego. I'm not here to say I told you so, you know. I'm just speaking my truth and authenticity. But anyway, I'll be back with another poem, the poem about my friend or another video. But when I say this video is for everybody, it was about the stress part of this video that I put out, you know. So if like I hope it don't get age restricted, but you know, the world needs to see this because this is why the world's so messed up now. And we all need to come together to make this land a better land, you know. Y'all heard of hell on earth? Well, this is what we're going through right now. But, you know, then comes heaven on earth. So let's make it heaven on earth, people. You know, like I said, Satan roams to see who he can devour and all this stuff. So now it's time for Satan to back off, you know, because he ain't nothing but a liar and a manipulator and all this stuff. So it's time for God to come and bring peace, love, and joy back to the world. You know, and as God's soldier, that's what I'm trying to do for him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, let's stop all this foolishness that's going on in the world today and bring heaven on earth, you know? Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. But the moral of this video is no matter what anyone says to you that tries to bring you down, tell you you can't do something that you want to do. Don't let them stop you. Prove them people wrong. You know, take me for an example. People didn't think I'd be as far as I am now. And now look at me, you know, trying to make the world a better place. You know, came out of nowhere. Now I'm on your screens, whether it's your phone screen, your TV screen, iPad screen, whatever, trying to bring peace to the land. You know what I mean? Anyway, keep your heads up, stay strong, keep the faith, keep the peace, and I'll be back with another one. Love y'all. And remember, I don't know if you can see the whole thing. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Ephesians 6, verse 11. Anyway, love y'all. I'll be back with another one. Peace.